Hello, I want to give you a quick introduction to a new feature available in MPS, specifically as part of the Embedder platform. It is Tooltips. Before I show them to you, let me just emphasize that they have been built by Sascha Lisson, like most of our cool enhancements. And so I want to make sure I don't get, create the impression that it's stuff that I built. But I think he prefers coding over creating videos, so I'll create the video. Anyway, so here is Embedder Code that shows a component, and that component, as you probably know, may refer to an interface. Here, this provides an interface. The interface has a bunch of operations, and the operations are implemented by these runnables, and they're triggered by these runnables. And so you can now hover over these triggers, and you can see little tooltips. Notice how in the tooltip we show in fully formatted fashion, syntax highlighted, the definition of the operation that's associated with the trigger, including all its contracts. So that's one example of a tooltip. Another example in our requirements trace is if you hover over a trace, you can now get the text of the requirement. Of course, it's lorem ipsum here. You can get the text of the requirement shown. Notice also we use MPS's API to position the tooltips, so it's always layouted, at the right place. Here it's on top by default, and then if you move further up, it's shown below the anchor node because obviously there isn't enough space up here. There's another example I can show you. Here we have a reference to a data element defined somewhere, and you can see how we use various different information. So this is like heterogeneous stuff collected from various places shown in the tooltip. Now, how do you go about defining these tooltips? Well, tooltips are defined in the editor. So let me go back to the requirements reference. So this object here is called a requirements reference, and here is the editor. And as you can see, this is the actual representation of the requirement. We show the requirements name, and then here we have this with tooltip thing, and there you can define any other editor. So you could just say, hello requirement, and if you do that, then your tooltip will obviously say hello recu. Here, what I wrote here. So going back, it now shows this, right? Not very impressive, but interesting. You can obviously put any kind of editor, and what we do here in this example is we use a query list, which is another extension that Sascha has built a while ago, which in this case allows us, if you look at the definition here, allows us to collect essentially arbitrary nodes from other places in the model. In this case, we navigate to the requirement, get its documents, grab its contents, and find the first text paragraph. And if we have one, then we list the text of that text paragraph in our result. We can return a list of nodes that would be shown here. In this case, we return the only one. So you can essentially flexibly, with these query lists, you can flexibly collect data from anywhere in the model and assemble it into a list of things. Let me go back to the other example here. Here we do something similar. We have, a vertical list in the tooltip where we show a bunch of more or less hard-coded things. We use a read-only model access. And then the type, we query, we grab the target object's type, and the details, that's just something that is returned by a helper method additional tooltip nodes, which you can obviously override and return a bunch of nodes. So this combination of tooltips and query list, obviously we can use query lists anywhere in the editor, but in tooltips they're especially useful because a tooltip usually provides some kind of summarized or queried or collected context information about stuff that is represented by the particular node. Anyway, so that's a quick demo of I got to rebuild this here, of our tooltip support. And of course, as usual, it's open source. It's currently part of the Embedder platform, which you can download and check out. Thanks for watching.